Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. We finally have liftoff. We finally have a signing coming through the door that's new, that's shiny. It is, of course, Joe Rothwell. How mad is it? We spoke about him on this very show. What did I tell you? Us YouTubers are more ITK than the bloody reporters at the minute, unfortunately. I say it tongue-in-cheek, of course, but it was a name that was mentioned to me late last night. Mentioned it to you earlier on. I think it was doing the message board rounds as well. And, you know, what, 5 o'clock? Oh, he's in the door. That's it, done. 49ers moving in silence, you know? Now, we're going to talk about Joe Rothwell, what he's going to bring to Leeds United, why it's a very good signing, why it fleshes out the squad, why he offers us something different to what we already have. Of course, you will hear loads of takes over the next few days going, it's underwhelming, this. People will want more, as is always the case. People will want us to splurge 25, 30 million on a midfielder. Joe Rothwell is decent. Is what we need. Remember, and again, I'll come back to it, we had no midfielders on the bench in the playoff final. Joe Rothwell will start some games in the 8. You know, people were saying just last week, get rid of Kamara, get rid of him, give me someone who can shoot. Well, Joe Rothwell can do that. So if that's your whole outlook, G&A, well, he's going to give you that because he did that for Southampton since January. He's going to have a full season at Leeds United. Will be nothing but a massive plus, and I think he will really add stuff. We'll have a look at FB Ref, we'll have a look at some of his statistical data. We'll do all that on this very show. Before we do though, smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and of course hit that notification bell, right? It's a loan, it's nice and cheap. It means we've still got money in the bank for what? For them forward positions where you pay the top dollar. We've brought in a centre-back in Joe Rodon, who's the best centre-back in the division, or one of. We've then brought in Rothwell. If I'm honest, I don't think we'll get any more midfielders in the centre midfield. We might get some 10s, but in centre midfield, I think we're locked. The reason I say that is because you then have Ampadu, Gruev, Kamara, Rothwell. That as a 4-piece in the Championship is very good. Very, very good. If you look at Southampton last season, and I would argue they had probably the best. They had Smallbone, they had Rothwell, they have Flynn Downs, and one other, Armstrong, right? That's not too dissimilar to what we've got, what we will have. Obviously, Ampadu will be back in the 6, won't have to play centre-back. Him and Gruev will share their minutes, depending on opponent, depending on what we need to do. Maybe they'll both play at the same time. But you've also got Joe Rothwell, who can then play in that 8, who can score goals as well. You know, this is a player that we have been lacking. I think we'll talk about some of his things. So he's a very good passer of the ball. Can play the ball long, can play the ball short. We'll have a look at some of the statistical data in a second, but very good at distributing the ball over short and long distances, contributes to build-up play, and can create goal-scoring opportunities. I think one of the best things that we lacked is attacking contributions from midfield, right? No one scored from midfield. He has a knack for arriving in the box at the right time. You know, even that box-crashing midfielder that can get on the end of things. He scored a goal last season that I've retweeted as well, if you have a look at that. We don't get that from any of our midfielders last season. I'm going to put the tweet on now so you can have a look at it, and you'll see what I mean. I'll put it in the comments. Go have a look at that. So Joe Rothwell got goal of the season at Southampton. I've just put that in the comments. Go have a look. It's from a corner. It gets headed out. My man puts his foot through it on the full volley and puts it in the top bins. We don't get that from what we've got in midfield. This is an aspect of his game that Leeds United lacked, and that will be a big plus to Leeds United. Of course, it was broke by the South Coast reporters, which is Alex Crook and Mark McAdam of Sky. Leeds have agreed a deal with Bournemouth to take Rothwell on loan for the season. That's good that we've still got a good relationship with Bournemouth, especially when you consider what happened with Anthony and stuff. But Rothwell will get minutes. He'll play a lot more than Jayden did last season. He's already in Leeds. He's having his medical, and that will be completed within the next 48 hours. This is how quick we move. We mentioned him sparingly on the show earlier this morning, and now it's done, you know, and he's in Leeds and he's having his medical. So both Alex Crook and Mark McAdam have confirmed that, and then since then, we've had Adam Pope and the rest of the Yorkshire-based journalists also finding out, because they will have no doubt then contacted the club for an answer. Yeah, for an answer in response to that. I do think one thing we can do as well for those that say, I think I've just seen something on Twitter which will enable us to be able to, I'm going to show you something here. And this isn't in any way in any way to discredit Glenn Kamara by any chance, but I've seen a lot of takes saying, oh, not better than we've got, bada bada ba. But when you actually look at the difference in terms of what the player will give us, let me just put it on an 8, you'll see just how effective that Joe Rothwell can be. Definitely. I know obviously he didn't start at Southampton, but they had a very good midfield, but he might not even start at Leeds United. You know, he might not start at Leeds United. But if we have a look at his statistical data, especially from an attacking standpoint, assisted goals, his penalties and stuff, it dwarfs midfielders that we have that will play in that same position. Well, I say midfielders, I meant midfielder. As I say, very good at carrying the ball. Progressive passes as well, very good at passing the ball. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me just rein it in a bit and we'll talk about it. But yeah, very good dribbler of the ball, great work rate, an industrious midfielder. I think as well he's got bags of experience in this division as well. Known for tackling, pressing, closing down, his positional sense, his physicality, and as I say, them attacking runs as well that we need to think about. That's something that was lacking from Leeds United last season. In terms of his history, he actually came through at Manchester United at the age of just 6, signed professional terms with them in 2013 and had loan spells at Blackpool and Barnsley. He then went to Oxford, joined Oxford United, scoring his first goal in an FA Cup match against Macclesfield. Then moved to Blackburn, where that was in 2018. He made 149 appearances and scored 10 goals in that time. And in 2022, he then joined Premier League club Bournemouth on a free transfer, loaned to Southampton, of course, last season. For the 23-24 campaign in January, he's going to have a full pre-season at Leeds United, and will be used quite a lot, I believe. I'm not so sure that he will be bench option as a lot of people tend to see it. I suppose it depends on the opponent, and this is where Farke now has a squad of players that he will want, right? And there will be, no excuses in that respect. Let's just have a look at some of his data on FB Ref, which you can't sniff at. If we have a look at his percentiles, there is a hell of a lot of green there comparative to other players in his position. Even if we have a look at passes attempted, passes completed, he's in the top, 88.9% of players. It's, I struggle to read this statistical data, but it's very good. It's a very good to look at, and I'll show you Kamara's in a minute so you can get a look at it. But Joe Blackburn, big up to Joe Blackburn's put it in words that I'll be able to describe better than me just reading that off there. Thank you, Joe B. Top 1% of midfielders for goals and XG, top 6% in pass completion, top 25% in all passing metrics listed on FB Ref's scouting report. So don't let people tell you, oh, it's underwhelming. The reason it's underwhelming is because his name's Joe Rothwell. He's on loan from Bournemouth and he's old, This is the facts of it, folks. You'll probably listen to people over the next few days. You'll read takes on Twitter that'll tell you, we can do better. We can do better. But I think it's a solid signing, and we shouldn't be complaining about it at all, because I think it's very good, and the data backs it up. I'm going to show you now Glenn Kamara. Have a look at all them greens there in terms of percentiles. Let's have a look at the SEC wheel as well, that shows there. Look, he's in the top. What is it? How would you say it then, Joe? You're saying he's in the top 6% for pass completion because, yeah, right, okay, I get it. Yeah, I get it now. Sorry, I'm not great I'm not great at reading, but you hear what I'm saying, right? So have a look at that now, right? See that. Look at all the greens. Look at the sec wheel. I'm now going to, and believe me when I say this isn't in any way to discredit Glenn Kamara, but just to give you the different type of player that we've got. If we look at this, it's totally different, right? So they're very similar in terms of passes, but everywhere else is where we know Glenn Kamara lacks because he doesn't like to even shoot, let alone score goals, you know? So this is where Joe Rothwell will give us something different. You know, he will give us something different. I've just been talking to Liam, who had him on loan. Who had him on loan last season. I've reached out to Sam as well, who was a Bournemouth fan, but Liam's just told me he was a Southampton fan. Decent player, good qualities on the ball, box to box, more attacking qualities than defensive. Very, very good Championship signing. And that's what we're lacking from midfield. A box crashing eight, a box to box, a one that will score. It's almost like your Archie Gray replacement, which ain't too bad. And, like I say, he got Saints as a goal of the season last season with an absolute wonder strike, which is, we all know, that is not anything that any of our midfielders are able to give us, for God's sake, Ali. If we're being totally honest, go have a look at that. I put it in the chat earlier on. The strike is a thing of beauty. And that's certainly something that Leeds United lacked. George just sent me a message there. He says he had 2 more shots than Kamara last season when at Southampton with only 452 minutes. Kamara had over 2,700. So that's the different type of profile. But that's what we need, right? We need a different profile of midfielder that can play in the 8 but gives us something different. And that's what we want. We want to be able to switch it up. We need that at Leeds United. That's something we're lacking. So I think it's a very, very astute signing, and it's a good bit of business. And it's a player that Leeds United wanted in January. We actually tried to get him in January, but were beaten to him by Southampton. So, yeah, I think it's very, very good. Again, Kershaw makes a good point. Everyone who's getting, annoyed at it, Farke made it clear we needed much more Championship experience. We've got that. Proven players who can play at this level and help the young lads. We've got that. This is exactly what we need. Kershaw just sent me a tweet. He's bang on the lie. He's bang on the lie. Someone's just said, I don't get your point. He's not even an upgrade on Sam Greenwood. These people don't watch football. I was talking to someone earlier on about Cameron Archer, and they said Bamford's better than him. And I'm like, well, they're totally different. You don't have a clue. Do you know what I mean? So it is what it is. I think Joe Rothwell is a very, very good signing for very good. And like I say, he got 4 goals in 16 games for Saints in the second half of the season, which, okay, 4 isn't amazing, but it's 4 more than any of our midfielders got collectively. So that's something to think about. And if we actually have a look at his minutes in the Championship last season. So look, he only started as well. Don't forget, he only started 4 games. Now, you've got to take into consideration as well, don't look at that as a negative. He came in January. They already had a settled side. In a full pre-season at Leeds United, that could look totally different. And like I say, he scored 4 goals in just 4 starts, 16 overall. I think he got braces. I think he got 2 sets of braces, two goals in 2 games, a brace against Huddersfield and a brace against another team. Now, if we go back and have a look at this, now, Bournemouth in the Premier League started 12 times. Not great, but if we look at his Championship games, if we just look solely at time spent in the Championship and just have a look at them selected rows, we can see every season he's been in the Championship, he has contributed goals and assists. If you look at his 21-22 season at Blackburn, 3 goals, 10 assists, so 13 G&A. Now, of course, that's a couple of years ago now, but if we take out his Premier League, he has scored goals, he has created for his teammates. So I think that's a positive when looking at just his Championship, his time in the Championship. He's clearly been able to affect games and score goals and create chances at times as well. If we can get anywhere close to Championship, Blackburn in 21-22, happy days. But like I say, anything is an improvement on the midfield last season from a goal scoring perspective. If we look at games late on when we're trying to break down low blocks and we're putting balls into the box and it's getting to Kamara and he's checking and he's going left, he's passing side, why didn't he shoot? Joe Rothwell's going to do that. Joe Rothwell's going to have a go. I think it's a really good signing, and naturally, everyone, boom, you'll hear it. But those that just actually look back and go, do you know what? Yeah, he's a solid 8. He's a solid 8, Definitely a good addition. Definitely a good addition to a championship side that'll be competing for honours, that'll be competing for promotion. So I like it. Of course, it's not flashy, but his name's Joe Rothwell. This is it. And if anything, apparently Chris Temple as well, who is the broadcaster at BBC, he's just confirmed there is an option for Leeds United to buy him as well. That's been confirmed now by Chris Temple. Having a look at Chris Temple, his BBC Bournemouth reporter. Joe Rothwell, the first of the surplus players to head out at Bournemouth, off on loan again, this time to Leeds for the season, who have an option to buy. And it tells you how well he's thought of as well from teams at the top end of the Championship, if you think that Leeds tried to get him in January, and he went to Southampton, who ultimately got promoted, and Leeds have gone again for a player that they deem good enough to be able to do bits at the top end of the league. So, and the fact that we have an option as well, is good. He's good. So happy days. Let's get into some of your comments. But big up, Joe Rothwell will be Leeds United's first signing. I say first signing, obviously. We've already brought in Joe Rodon, but yeah. Lockie as well sent me a few clips, actually. Unfortunately, I won't be able to share them, but let me have a look, see if I can. I don't know if I'll be able to maybe put a still on it. Let me just mute it, see if I can mute it. Hang on, that's his goal, actually. I'm going to have to mute it a second. Sorry, folks. I've just realised I've muted my mic. What I would do is I'm just going to download these clips and then show you where he's arriving and stuff, which is something that we lack, right? This is definitely something that we lack, that we didn't have last season, that Joe Rothwell's going to give us. I'm just going to add them onto here. Just bear with us 1 minute and I'll add the 2 video clips and you'll see what I mean. And I'll just have to sort of put them as stills because it'll probably get copyrighted, you see, and I don't want to do that. So, but I'll see if I can share them with you. I don't know if I'll be able to do that, actually. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do that. It's difficult. We'll save that. But let me see if I can. Nancy's just joined the race. Tweeted. How can I show you that, though? Let me have a look. See if I can get me downloads and then, listen, thing isn't my strong point. That's not the one I want to show you. I want to show you something. Right, let me see if I can share this with you. Hang on. What's happening there? Why is it going backwards? Yeah. It's rewinding it. When I press play, it's rewinding it. That's strange. Right, let me see if I can share that with you. 1 second. Yes. Right, so you can see here, look, from this this little bit of action here, that Adam Armstrong obviously comes down the right, has this, tries to cross it, it takes a deflection, but look who's there waiting. Do you know what I mean? We don't have that from our midfielder, and obviously he goes on to smash that into the back of the net. But that's not something we have. That's not something we have from a midfielder who's running into them positions. Not Kamara, not Gruev, not Ampadu. Do you know what I mean? Whereas he's going to give us that. That's the bit that I'm talking about, where we have someone who makes intelligent attacking runs, likes to crash into the box, likes to score goals if indeed he can. So yeah, I think we'll get that. We'll get that at Leeds United, which is something that we did miss. Let's get into some of your comments now. Good signing, a scoring midfielder, agreed. A midfielder who can score. Who knew they existed, right? Solid signing, this very underrated player. Solid loan, no complaints. You can't win with Leeds fans on Twitter. It's either we're not signing one, and then if we do sign one, it's so underwhelming, he's rubbish, yeah. But Bournemouth reject, why do we want him? It's just poor. I don't understand why it is underwhelming. It's solid signing that we need. What would people want in instead of. Wonder if Kamara is going to go. No, because then we'd need to replace it. I think that now, and I'd get your opinion. I'm going to put a poll out actually in the chat. I'd love to know your folks' opinion. That 4 now, I don't think, if no one leaves out of that 4, I don't think we go get another centre midfielder. We might get 10s, we might get wingers, we might even get a 9. We'll get a right back, some centre backs. But with that 4, do you think they'll do any more? I don't. And what I'll look at it as saying, okay, so we've brought in X amount for Gray. We've sold Llorente, sold Creswell, sold all these players. We have... And what I'll look at... Sorry. Stop. Sorry, I'm just trying to get the YouTube up so I can put a poll on. 1 second, folks. Right, okay, so... I will catch up to your comments as well. Don't forget to like the video. I'm just going to put a poll on now because I'd love to get your folks' thoughts. Will Leeds purchase any more CMs? That's the poll, because I don't think we will. I think as a 4, like the chat's probably agreeing, because if we look at, say, I mentioned it earlier, I'll repeat myself, but the 4 that we had at Southampton, which I thought was a very solid 4, I think they had Armstrong, Downs, Rothwell and Smallbone. That's a very good 4. We also have something similar now with Ampadu, Gruev, Rothwell and Kamara. I think not many will be able to chat to that in the league, if any at all. It's very strong, it's very industrious, it's very experienced at decent levels. Gruev, Bundesliga, Kamara, Europe, Ampadu, everywhere. Do you know what I mean? Wales, and now Rothwell as well, who really gives that championship experience. I think it's solid. Try break it down as well. Try break it down. Nada. We then still got a lot of money in the bank as well, like Kane. Got money in the bank like Kane. Dave lyric, that, I really love it. Save that money, because if your Somerville's your Gnonto goes, then you can really pay for the top talent. Makes sense this. We missed experienced heads to get us over the line last season. Helen says, well. Wow, that's moved fast. Mental, innit? Great replacement is Joe Rothwell, yeah. Hopefully I've answered that now, Barry, as we've gone through. Decent signing. Yeah, he's having a medical. He was on loan. Hopefully, I'm way back, but yeah. But that's, yeah. How much is Sarah going to cost you, really? It's not true, Jack. He scores. Good man. No, I would say he's an 8, box to box, if you like. I wouldn't say he's a 10. That's just my thoughts. Maybe wrong. People let me know in the chat, but I think like Vic's bang on here. 2 DMs, 2 8s. Very good 8s that offer you different things. You want to control the game. You want to keep possession. Get Kamara in there. Very press resistant. If you want to, we need to really break these up and get balls into the box. Have, a midfielder crashing into that, then it's Joe Rothwell, isn't it? So it depends. And he's a very good passer of the ball as well. Long raking passes, short passes. I'm just going to have a look at his time, where he spent most of his time. If we look at his heat map. I don't know why I'm on transfer marks. I should be on Sofa Score, sorry. Yeah. But an 8, I would say. Like it's got him on Sofa Score as previously playing in the 6. But like I say, I don't think he would do that. So I think he's an 8. This is just his heat map from Southampton. You can see that he's taking corners. Bloody hell, there you go. Maybe he's got that to his locker as well. That's something we need. If you have a look, he's spent quite a lot of time in the what would that be? The left-hand side? Yeah, the left corner. So maybe we have a new corner taker as well, which might be something that'll be a big plus, because he's spent a hell of a lot of time over there. So yeah, I would say he's an 8. If we have a look at his championship time at Blackburn, though, let's have a look. I mean, that's what we want from him, innit? This is when he had that barnstormer season at Blackpool that got him the move to Bournemouth in the Premier League. This is what we want from Joe Rothwell. Let's roll back the years, Joe Rothwell, and give us 21-22 Joe Rothwell. Obviously, has spent time in the Premier League as well with Bournemouth, played quite a lot of time in their first season. And again, he's taken corners there, so that's going to be something that we might use him for as well when he's on the pitch, because he's taken corners in the Premier League at Bournemouth. So that's clearly a facet of his game that he's decent at. And he did it at he took the corners at Blackburn as well, which is maybe why he got so many assists. So let's get some headers in there and get him on corners as well. Experienced head in midfield. Not bad at all, especially when, like we've looked, and there were 2 braces as well. Huddersfield, and I forget the other game now as well. That's it. 2 against Huddersfield, 2 against Sunderland. Had a 10, and that's a very good championship midfield with Gruev, Rutter, Ampadu, Kamara, Aronson, Rothwell, and another 10. I would argue you probably chuck Pirro in there as well, Jamie. Great volley, yeah, those that have seen the goal, I did put it in the chat. It's a great volley, and that's not something that we have, is it? Everyone's chucking that. Well, it turns out he's good at corners. I didn't know this, but he's been teching them. Will he live in Rothwell? Maybe. No, I don't, because then we'd need to replace Kamara. This, for me, is your midfield 4 now. But let me see what the poll's saying, actually. 74% will Leeds purchase any more CMs? 73% say no. I think it's decent. Honestly, don't look on the negative side of it, Kevin. Genuinely, I think this is just the replacement for Gray. Can take set pieces as well, says Tom. There you go. As long as he scores screamers every game, I'm sound. Yeah, I think him and Kamara will just dovetail, mate, depending on the opponent. Do you know what I mean? Depending on how Farker wants to go about that game. That's fine as well. But it will be, mate. He's in. Don't worry. We need a striker, yeah. I hope he gets squad number 26. 2 different types of player is what we need, exactly. Yeah, exactly. More progressive passer, that is definitely the case. I mean, they do, mate. You'd be surprised. They do. I wonder why. I tell you what really confused me. Why the Tiffmeister didn't break this. Oh, God. Let's have a look. Even someone bought to crying out for a play. Yeah, exactly. And he's going to do that, isn't he? Missed 5 games in his whole career through injury. That's good. Yeah, that's right, mate. It has. Yeah, it's done, innit? Any news on the right back front? No, not that we've heard. But again, well, someone messaged me yesterday. I'll tell the exact time. Big up Curtis, by the way. So this was Wednesday night at 5 to 11. Heard we might be signing Joe Rothwell. Might be bullshit, but just thought you'd be interested to know. That was at 5 to 11 at night, yeah? Big up Curtis. Yeah. Don't know. He did say to me, I don't know if it's the high-tech robotic toy you wanted, but I reckon it'll be a good signing. And then I put, yeah, same, serviceable, isn't it? That was last night. I mentioned it today at lunchtime when I did that video. Look, those who watched, I said, this is what I was told. And then 5 o'clock, he was having a medical in Leeds. Now, that had come from message boards from Wacko, I believe. Curtis told me that. But my point is, no one else reported on that at all. So you bet, honestly, fans at the minute, in that they're more ITK than what the journos are, because the club aren't doing anything. And to be honest, the 2 that have reported it first are Alex Crook and Mark McAdam. Now, them 2 are South Coast reporters. They work with Southampton, Bournemouth, Portsmouth, clubs down that end. So that, had they have not found out that, no one else would have done that. Like Leeds United are now, Leeds United Yorkshire-based reporters straight away going, oh, is it true? Leeds are going, yeah. Do you know what I mean? So they do really move in silence. You know, they do really move in silence. I don't think we will now, Michael. I think that's your lot. And, you know, I don't mind it, you know. I don't even think Gruev starts, though, Nick. I think Ampadu starts. Ampadu starts in the 6, and it depends on pre-season. This is the thing. I quite like the idea of Rothwell and Ampadu. And I really like Kamara. But I like my midfield at a score. Do you know what I mean? If Joe Rothwell drives to an underwhelming town in Lancashire, does he become Joe Blackburn? Maybe. Yeah. Yeah, and that's fine though, isn't it, Sonny? That is fine. It's not an obligation. It's an option to buy as well. Again, if he does well, we get promoted. You're like, yeah, we'll keep Joe Rothwell around for a season or two. Won't be starting. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, same, Jamie. And look, what we have to think of as well, from the club's perspective, they've sold great. We can go through. I think there's been 12 exits. Loan fees, permanents, releases, whatever it may be, right? And we've brought in one Joe Rodon for 10 million, which has already been taken care of because that was part of the grey deal. And we've brought in a very good, serviceable championship midfielder that makes the squad stronger for nothing, for a loan. Maybe a small fee, maybe picking up his wages, but his wages will be nothing like what some of the clowns we had at this football club before that have just been wiped out. So we've still got loads of cash to play with. What can we do with the cash? Well, we can go and get a nice 10. We can go and get a great winger. We can go and get a number 9. We can maybe put that towards convincing Cameron Archer to come on loan to Leeds. Well, of course they will say that though, Paul, because they're never happy. They're never happy. What I would say is, like, who would you rather want? And if you say someone like Gabriel Sara, it's a little bit out of we don't have that money. These players, if you remember, like, I'm going to give you some names: Schmodix, Whittaker, Sara, Johnny Rowe. These players would cost a premium. A premium. We bought Pirro last season. Premium, 12 million, whatever it was. We can't be spunking that on players left, right and centre. Especially when you already have a strong trio of midfielders for this division. Let's be honest. Kamara, Ampadu and Gruev walk into more sides in this division. You've then added another player who probably won't be a starter. You know, because at that point then as well, if you were to spend big money, you're either going to Kamara, you're not going to play much, at which point it'll go, well, fecking sell me to Ren then. Or the player that's coming in going, you're not going to play much because you're going to be competing with Kamara. Well, I'm not coming to you. Do you know what I mean? So this is a very, very good deal for me. I think Cruz sticks around. I did say he'll only play sparing. You won't see much of him. I think a lot of people are expecting a Gray style impact. I wouldn't. Well, what is he then, Jody? He's an 8. He just, you know, there are different profiles of a midfielder, just like there's a different profile of a 10. There's different profiles of strikers. You know, Bamford's totally different to, you know, another striker that is just scores goals, do you know what I mean? But doesn't... Well, if you compare Pirro and Bamford, if you like, they're just two totally different type of players. Yeah, so... Jamie, he'll be more than that, though, bro. He'll be totally more than that. He'll be more than that. Yeah, be excited, man. Don't let people... Yeah, exactly, Vic. Yeah. How many more we've got? I said 4 a minimum, but yeah, we'll wait and see. Rothwell's got goals in him, not great praise, why he struggles in the Prem, but high IQ and skilled. This is where I don't like this whole ambition thing. It's a new thing. It's a new generation. We lack ambition. We've got no ambition. Well, what we can do is maybe spunk 25 million on JKA, who won, you know, player of the season or player of the tournament in the same French side that Mbappe did. We can do that. Or you can go get a player like it. Fee, age, it doesn't lack ambition. And plus, again, I'll come back to it. Speaking about it this morning, we're a championship club. We're a championship club. So yeah, I wouldn't get too downbeat about it. Yeah, exactly. I'm surprised he didn't break it, to be fair. Of course, Trey Hume would be great. Glenn, I don't know. I don't think he comes to Leeds. There'll be offers in the Premier League. If we do get a new centre-back alongside Roden... No, the rest of that's wrong. We won't get a new centre-back because we've got Strauch, so it'll be Strauch and Rodon. We'll get someone behind them. And Kamara, no, I don't think he sat deep last season. He won't do that again. It'll be Rothwell or Kamara in the 8 with Ampadu in the 6, Gruev off the bench. An option to buy as well. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, exactly. This is why. But and again, people will just say it's not good enough and all this sort of stuff. We can do better. Those that are saying, get rid of every man and the dog, but can't actually give us a solution as to how to do it. Just some people will just be unhappy, no matter what we do. This for me is a very good signing. And people saying lack of ambition. He's a top-level championship midfielder. Any team in the championship would love Rothwell. As proven by Leeds United and Southampton both competing for his signature in January. The fact Southampton have got promoted and Leeds United have gone again shows that anyone at the top end of the championship's like, yeah, boom. We have on here, I've just given you a Southampton fan's response. These are his exact words. Decent player, good qualities on the ball, box to box, more attacking qualities than defensive. Very good championship signing. That's from a Southampton fan. That's a glowing endorsement. Our ambition is to get to the Prem. He will help that. Yeah. Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Yeah, it's mad. It's like Phil Anderson, who says that Bamford isn't a striker because he doesn't score goals, so he's a midfielder. But that's a mad logic, innit? It's just a flawed logic. Are we getting Connor Roberts? I don't know. Like, Graham Smith seems to think not. And maybe Burnley don't want to. They don't want to improve a rival. You got to take that into consideration. And Alex Cairns is your third choice, but it's a good move. Yeah, but Geordie, I know I hate to say this saying, but what about all the pre-assists? What about all the times we have triangles between Somerville, Firpo and Kamara in the box? He has done that so many times. Like, you're just looking at, again, G and A. And Geordie, it's mad. So you think because he doesn't provide goals or assists, that means he should be... It's wild. It's wild. Yeah, please help me. Please help. Why the hell we buy a loan player? Well, we haven't bought him, have we? This owner's skin? Well, no, we haven't bought him, have we? You can't buy a loan player. Evening, Joel. Good signing this. Not people complaining about no signings and help. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, exactly, Tim. And guess why? Because they played him at centre-back. And he was amazing at centre-back, but yeah, anyway. People on Twitter will be mad, but it is what it is. It is what it is. So, hey. It is what it is. I'm just having a look now to see what else has been said on the old Twitter sphere. Let's have a look. Yeah, third signing. Third signing for Leeds United now. So we've got Rodon, Alex Cairns, Joe Rothwell. It's not bad, is it? It's not bad. It's not a bad start. Still a long way to go. But yeah, it's a good signing in an area. Oh, Max Dean already in summer camp and met with his new teammates. Ghent supposed to confirm the deal in the next 24 hours. We're going to get a nice sell-on clause as well, that. We're going to get a nice sell-on clause from the sale of Max Dean. So that's good. So Max Dean's gone to Ghent. He hasn't gone to Toulouse now. They're going to confirm that deal. We've got a 50% sell-on clause on Max Dean as well. So that's smart business. Yeah, exactly, Vic. He's so key to our build-up at times as well. He gets far too much disrespect. Like I say, if you go look when he was first linked, every man and his dog wants him sold. Or we're happy to. And now we're bringing a new player and everyone's saying he's not better than Kamara. I did say, like, at the time, if you were to sell Kamara, you wouldn't be able to replace him. No, Harvey, I don't know what you've read there, my man. Not by any stretch. But Xavi was a 6 but didn't score or assist much, says Jim. Polly says, I like it, and I can't see Somerville staying, so someone like Sarah is achievable with that bank from Somerville, I'd say. Well, this is where we have to take into consideration, Polly, when we are buying a midfielder on loan that's not going to cost much, you then have, extra cash to do that. If Somerville, because I agree with you, Somerville will go, you then, you know what I mean? Trey Hume next in. I can't see it. What up, Joe? Thoughts? I'm happy about it, mate. I'm happy about it. So I think, I'm very, very happy with it. So I think he'll do really well. And the squad's starting now. We've got options. Let's make a few more. Boom, and we will be there. Yeah, we will be there. I'm happy, man. More will be revealed over the next few days. But what I will say, right? Look how quick that done. I first heard the name 5 to 11 off someone. Big up Curtis. Well, off Curtis. And then he's signed by lunch the next day. But again, that's just off a message board. It could have been BS. Do you know what I mean? But my point is, like, no one knew about this at all. And the only reason we found out because it came from the Bournemouth end. So the 49ers aren't telling us anything. So for all we know, a right back might come tomorrow. A right back might come tomorrow. A striker might come tomorrow for all we know. It's mad. Joe's experience getting promoted, so not bad. Exactly Farke's first touch. It's a positive signing. Need some defence. Yeah, we do. Gabajan said that lad's no good enough for us, Joe. It's not the quality of player we are after. Well, we are after him, so maybe not in your opinion, Gabajan, but hey-ho. Aronson doesn't get in this side, though. It'd be interesting to see how Farke sees him, mate. How Farke sees him, isn't it? But again, if he doesn't, it's a great option off the bench. It's a great option from the bench, isn't it? Anyway, I think I've rambled on enough, Anna. It'll be interesting to see what everyone else's takes are. I'll go have a look on Twitter now. But like as always, people will say things and he will shut them up when he starts the season at Leeds United and he starts to, he starts to score goals. Barney says they really do move in silence. Good signing, but holy shit, our fan base is toxic AF. The delusional fan thinks we get Mbappe, Yamal because we're Leeds, exactly. We're a championship club who've just signed a very good championship midfielder. Can't say it fairer than that. Anyway, I'll leave it there. I'm going to eat some food after I've been to the gym. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. Get your comments in. Hit that notification bell. And I'll see you all in a bit. Thanks for the support as always, folks. Love you all. Peace and love. Bye-bye. Joe Rothwell's